Most people in their 30s feel fine on paper, but quietly feel vitality decreasing. Most people regard it as natural, but the truth is, that is not always the case. Ethan was starting to notice this decay, and after conducting blood tests and routine medical examinations, was considering on consulting a therapist. As if the universe had heard him, his attention was drawn to a flyer on cold train station floor. Maybe you don't need therapy. Maybe a philosopher is enough. This is ridiculous, Ethan thought. But something within him compelled him to call and set an appointment anyway. It's not even a third of the price of a therapy session, might as well try, he told himself, even though he knew that wasn't the source of the compulsion. As Ethan arrived at the building, he was thinking of what to say, what to expect from the probably 60-year-old retired academic with too much time and too little human contact. As he noticed himself falling into cynicism, he resolved to stop thinking and simply go with it. He was already there, might as well make the trip worthwhile. To his surprise, a young man was waiting for him in a clean and modern office. He was evidently active, as per the bandage on his right hand and wrist, maybe even an athlete by his build. "Hi, I'm Jacob. Thank you for giving philosophy and me a chance to improve your life. You are welcome to grab yourself a drink and come sit down at the table." Ethan grabbed a bottle of water and sat in front of Jacob. "So Ethan, what brings you here? You could start by giving me a brief description of your person if you'd like." "Well, I'm 34, have a decent job. People say I'm doing fine. But every morning I get moments when I can't feel anything besides a nagging voice asking, is this really it? Work, scroll, sleep, repeat. Work, scroll, sleep, repeat. Work, scroll, sleep, repeat. Work, scroll, sleep, repeat." Years pass. I don't feel like I'm becoming anything. I'm not depressed, just misplaced, like I'm in the wrong story. I don't feel broken, I feel misaligned. I want something real, something that justifies my existence. I'm afraid I'll wake up at 60 and realize I never truly lived. Ethan was surprised at how expressive he got in front of this stranger. Jacob didn't write anything. He didn't even have a notepad. He simply looked at Ethan with focus and discerning. "I appreciate the clarity with which you expressed what is bothering you. It's not easy to do. Let me ask you, what drove you to build your life as it is?" That's a harder question than I expected. If I'm honest, fear and momentum. When I was younger, I didn't feel like I had options. My family wasn't poor, but there was always this pressure. Be practical, don't risk, don't mess up. So I chose the safe path. Study something useful, get a stable job, don't rock the boat, Dot. At first, it felt responsible, even noble, like I was being an adult. But somewhere along the way, it stopped feeling like choice and started feeling like default. I didn't wake up one day and decide, this is the life I want. I just kept saying yes to the next step because it was there. School, job, promotion, more responsibility, less time. And now, I look at my life and I don't recognize it as something I designed. It feels like something that happened to me. You are very courageous recognizing that you acted out of fear. Most people refuse to acknowledge when they do so. Can you tell me what is the common denominator between all the things you pointed out scared you into living? Asked Jacob. Ethan opened the bottle of water and had a drink as the room began to feel hot. Let me think. Fear of instability? Yes, fear of disappointing people. Fear of being judged. Fear of failing publicly. Fear of finding out who I am. The common denominator, it's other people. Or more precisely, how I would be seen by other people. I built my life around avoiding social rejection. Ethan felt a mixture of happiness at the clarity and horror at the meaning of what he had done. Jacob leaned back on his chair and asked, "Do you have any memories of having disappointed people throughout your childhood?" Ethan closed his eyes and looked back on his memories. "Yeah, more than I'd like to admit. There isn't one big dramatic event. It's more a pattern, a tone. I remember bringing home grades that were good, but not good enough. Not being yelled at. Worse, that quiet disappointment. The sigh, the look, that you could have done better. I remember being excited about things that didn't matter to them, ideas, projects, stuff in my head, and getting indifference or polite dismissal. I learned pretty early that being too intense was too much, embarrassing, rude, unrealistic. So I adjusted. I became manageable. There's one memory that sticks out. I was maybe 10 or 11. I said I wanted to do something creative. I don't even remember what exactly. And my father laughed. Not cruelly, casually, like it was obviously stupid. And something in me just shattered. I don't think they meant to hurt me, but I learned the lesson anyway. Don't be a problem. Don't stand out. Don't disappoint. So, yeah. Now that I think about it, I seem to have trained myself to disappear and then built a life that matches that training. Saying it out loud feels heavy, but also weirdly accurate. Ethan was now the most relaxed he had felt in a long time. He never imagined understanding himself could be so liberating. Jacob looked satisfied with Ethan's reaction. With an advising tone, he said, "If I were you, I would set time apart for myself in a private office. You would benefit from practicing claiming time and space for yourself. Interruptions should not be tolerated unless someone is actually dying. Set as much time daily and/or a few hours on the weekend, and practice saying no to people, especially with your me time. If you want, I would like to know in a month how you feel. And if anyone needs a doctor's note, I can give you one. But try to not use it so that you practice imposing boundaries." Ethan's eyes widened. Okay, first of all, that hit harder than you probably intended. Because when you said interruptions not tolerated unless someone is actually dying, my first reaction was almost panic. Like, I can't do that. People will be upset. I'll be selfish. I'll cause problems. Which pretty much proves your point. I don't think I've ever had time that was truly mine. Even when I'm alone, I'm still available, still on edge, still reachable, still mentally oriented toward other people's expectations. The idea of saying no, not as a reaction, but as a boundary, that feels almost illegal in my body. And the fact that you framed it as practice is important because, yeah, this is a skill I clearly never developed. I'll do it. Daily time, weekend time, no interruptions, and I'll practice saying no, even when my whole nervous system screams. And I will come back in a month and tell you exactly what happened. I have a feeling this is going to be disruptive, but I'm in. As Jacob heard the word disruptive, he looked concerned and said in a grave tone, "Listen, Ethan, you may find out that some relationships you have only because of who you have been denying yourself to be. People who are used to have you available full time may not like it because you are married. I need you to understand that this is for improving your life, and that when your life improves, everyone's life around you will too. You have sacrificed a lot for your wife, and as you love her and I hope she loves you, she needs to understand that this is investing in your well-being for a better future." Ethan looked concerned, but determination overtook his expression. "I hear you, and I'm taking this seriously. And for what it's worth, the way you frame this, the clarity, the directness, I can absolutely see why someone would seek you out for this kind of counsel. This isn't therapy. This is orientation, and I think I've been disoriented for a very long time. It's time to correct course. Thank you, Jacob. I'll be back in a month." Ethan stood up with more energy than he had when he arrived. Jacob stood up too and held his hand forward. The men shared a strong, determined handshake. "I hope next time is the last time you come here. But if you ever need perspective again, my door is always open." As Ethan left with plan of action to reclaim himself from a devouring society, Jacob smiled at the determination philosophy gave to Ethan, like it had given it to him all those years ago in his darkest hour.